Good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the Nilecast on West Nile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, 2 health workers arrested over extortion of money at Arua Regional Referral Hospital.
We have arrested 2 young girls.
Preparations are in high gear ahead of the presidential tour to the West Nile region.
The master is moving the country, the entire nation, to sow the seed of God's creation.
And police assure security during the Easter festivities.
As police, we are prepared to secure this Easter season.
It's Thursday, the 6th of April, 2023, and you're most welcome to the Nilecast on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. A delegation led by the Office of the Inspector General of Government, Honorable Betty Kamia, has ordered the arrest of 2 health workers volunteering at Arua Regional Referral Hospital for allegedly extorting money from patients and caretakers for services that are meant to be free of charge for the Wananchi. Emmanuel Agele was on ground and he reports.
The Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamia, ordered the arrest of Manjede Nancy, an enrolled midwife, and Munguchi Gladys, a nurse who were volunteering at Arua Regional Referral Hospital for allegedly extorting money from laboring mothers and caretakers. The director of Arua Regional Referral Hospital says many times they have warned workers who offer healthcare services to the Wananchi at a cost, yet they are not meant to pay any cent except in the private wing, and he therefore has welcomed the idea of the IG inspecting on weekly basis.
Many times we have warned the staff not to charge the patients, and we also put notices, public notices on our at the entrance of the units and the wards, telling them that this facility, the services in this facility are free of charge, except in the private wing. And if charged, please call those numbers, and all those are numbers from the staff in administration. We have actually handled a few cases that came to our notice, whereby we ask them to refund the money, apologize, and also we take disciplinary actions against them. Well, they are not, we cannot know about all unless we are always here asking the people. And you remember we have different groups of people who come for service. There are those who may know about it and they go home. And then new ones come, they may not know about it. So the issue of having the Inspectorate of Government come here every week is very good for us. We will be able to address most of these cases. As a hospital management, we are also against charging patients. We have told staff many times that if we don't have money, medicines, they should write and prescribe for the patients to go and buy it. And we have told them many times not to sell any item in the hospital. Although it has come up that even they sell items on which it is written government property not for sale, and they have sold it. So we will continue to improve on identifying those who still do this practice. And if they are identified, we hope that they will be, when they are penalized, others should be able to learn from this.
Honorable Betty stated that the Inspector of Government comes anytime to examine government projects and institutions, and therefore she has called upon for a concerted effort to reduce corruption.
I've got the opportunity to talk to the attendants, and the attendants are saying that they are asked for money. This is the labor ward, and these attendants behind me are attending ladies there. But the general view is that they are asked for money. They are asked for money. So, and one attendant was kind enough to say that they can even identify the person whom they give their money. Because it's difficult. You come in an emergency, they say bring 20,000, you give it before your person is attended to. So, good thing we are with the hospital director. We have brought it to his attention, and we are trying to identify those people who can be identified as having taken money. We shall deal with them. But I have also directed our office here in Arua to be coming. We have agreed with the hospital director to be coming once a week to speak to attendants, because attendants are the ones who know. Sometimes the sick people are too sick. They come when they are too sick to know what is going on. They are on their beds. So anybody who wants to do something wrong speaks to the attendant. So I've instructed our office in Arua to be speaking to come to hospitals and every week admit different. This is for labor, but I suppose the attendants in every hospital, so that we know what is going on. This hospital has displayed a notice there telling patients not to pay any money, and they have displayed also telephone numbers to call in case you are asked for money, which is a good thing. But I think that maybe it's too small. We'll advise them to blow it up, but with increased awareness. And what we are doing as inspectors of government, people should know that they are inspectors of government who can come anytime to inspect government work. If we improve our inspection tactics and do spot checks, then I'm sure that incidents of corruption will decrease.
The delegate, led by the Inspector General of Government, Honorable Betty Kamia, has been inspecting government institutions and projects in both Arua City and Arua District. Emmanuel Agele, West Nile TV Nilecast.
And more in our stories for the evening. With a few days left for the coming of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to the West Nile region for the Wealth Creation Campaign, the State Minister for Investment Privatization, while addressing the press today, stated that all is well in as far as the President Museveni is coming to the region is concerned. Dennis Saringi reports more.
The State Minister for Finance in charge of privatization and investment, Evelyn Anite, also one of the lead mobilizers, has said all is set for the coming of the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who will be in the region for his tour of preaching about the wealth creation and shared prosperity.
What does the President want to do? As you know, his book of sowing the mustard seed. So the master is moving the country, the entire nation, to sow the seed of wealth creation under the theme, securing your future through wealth creation.
Topped on the agenda of the President's visit will be to assess how people have been able to put into practice wealth creation messages he has been sharing.
So as the master moves around, there would be some, this is not the first time that he's moving. He's moved around to sow the seed of wealth creation before. Some of it fell on a fertile soil, some of it fell on barren land. But those that fell on fertile soil are the excellent stories for the country. And therefore, when he comes into a region, and he's coming to West Nile from 11th to 13th, he would like to see those who have listened to the message of 4-acre model.
The minister who heads the Uganda Investment Authority as the political head has been joined by Morrison Rakakamba, who is the chairman Uganda Investment Authority, in mobilization and preparation for the coming of the president. According to Morris, the Uganda Investment Authority is to support the president's coming in identifying those in value addition businesses.
Specifically for this presidential tour, Uganda Investment Authority is looking for value addition champions. These are people in West Nile, businesses in West Nile that are already adding value to their products, that are already having some industrial approach. And UIA, Uganda Investment Authority, who want to be the wind beneath their wings. We have already met and discussed with over 50 companies that are already doing value addition.
It should be noted that Uganda Investment Authority in 2021 moved across the country to identify acres of land that can be used for the establishment of industrial park. Meanwhile, in Western region, the Uganda Investment Authority were able to identify 3 industrial parks that shall be established in the districts of Nebi, Madiokolo and Yumbe.
At the beginning of his term, President Museveni issued specific directives, and one of the directives for the Minister of Investment and Uganda Investment Authority was to establish 25 industrial parks across the country to be able to deliver millions of jobs for the country. And we are going to be having 3 industrial parks, all of them each above 500 acres, one in Nebi, another one in Yumbe, and another one in Madi Okolo.
Among the topical issues to be discussed with the leaders on Tuesday 11th on day 1 will among others include the implementation of the government projects in the region that will be presented by the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda.
The government intervention in West Nile, some broad interventions that have been specific for the West Nile sub-region, and the presenter is going to be the Right Honourable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Honourable Robin Nabanja. And this session is going to be again moderated by the Honourable Evelyn Anita. The final topic is going to be securing your future through wealth creation and shared prosperity. And that broadly, I have the honor to announce that the presentation is going to be by H.E. the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will make that presentation, and to moderate that discussion will be H.E. the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, H.E. Jessica Aro.
The head of state is expected in the region for 3 days, with 2 days meeting leaders in Arua and holding public rally. Meanwhile, on the last day, on 13th of April 2023, he will be addressing the people of Madisa region in Obongi district. Dennis Oringi, West Nile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories for the evening. The police in the West Nile region has assured the public of their general security and maintenance of law and order during the upcoming Easter festivities. During a press briefing, the West Nile Police spokesperson Josephine Anguchia is urging the general public to conduct themselves responsibly during the festive season. Let's have more on that story.
We would like to tell members of public that as police, we are prepared to secure this Easter season, and just like any other public holiday, we are not supposed to go for pass leaves or for holidays. We are to remain within our stations to secure this season. So we are really prepared to secure everyone, but of course the security that we are going to give will be general one, where we shall do patrols on foot, motorized patrols. We shall also be able to share information with the public and also get information from public, which information we shall use in preventing crime. So we are really going to secure it, and our role will be to give general security, to save life and properties, to maintain law and order, to detect and prevent crime, and also to cooperate with the civilian population. So what do we expect on the side of the general public? We expect the general public, first of all, to be security conscious and vigilant of security of their surroundings. They should be vigilant all the time in all places where they are going to be celebrating Easter. This will help them prevent crime from happening to themselves. Secondly, we urge members of public to be law-abiding. They should be law-abiding all the time at all places, so that they will not be inconvenienced by being arrested to celebrate Easter behind the bars. Then thirdly, we urge members of public to share security information freely with the police. Information that is vital to prevention of crime should be shared. For instance, if there are some criminal elements within the communities, and if there are some criminal activities going on within some communities, information should be shared quickly with the police in order to prevent crime. And then besides that, we also encourage members of public to avoid unnecessary excitement, because during Easter season we've realized that people normally become so excited, they overdrink, and in the process some end up dying just because of too much alcohol in their bodies with little food. Meanwhile, others overdrink and drive or ride motorbikes under the influence of alcohol, and they end up causing accidents to themselves and to others. So for that matter, we really urge everyone to be responsible as they celebrate this Easter and avoid drink driving. And then we also urge them to conduct themselves responsibly, especially parents and guardians should not leave their homes and children unattended to. In the past, we have incidences where parents or guardians go for leisure and leave their children alone at home with burning candles. And in the process, the candles end up burning the house and all the children at once, and which becomes a great loss to the parents and to the community and to the nation. So we therefore appeal to our parents, the guardians, to be responsible enough. They should not leave these children alone. They should be left with responsible people. And then homes should also be left with responsible people so that accidents can be avoided at home. We also urge them to have good neighborhood watch, where neighbors are to watch over each other's home, over what is happening in each other's home in order to offer immediate security to each other before police may reach them to their various villages. And we equally advise the youths to avoid involving themselves in irresponsible behaviors that can easily make them get problems in their lives. In other words, youths should conduct themselves responsibly and avoid involving themselves in risky behaviors that can easily affect their lives. So some of the risky behaviors that can easily occur on such a celebration or during such a season of Easter include defilement, rape, thefts and thuggeries, loitering for discourse here and there, alcoholism, drug abuse, all of which can lead them to committing crime, and all these can also affect their lives in one way or the other. So we appeal to our youths really to conduct themselves responsibly and take care of their lives, because the future still belongs to them. So we don't want to lose them out of unnecessary excitement in this Easter season. So with this message, I therefore wish everyone in West Nile region and beyond happy Easter celebrations.
And more in our stories for the evening. In a bid to promote gender equality in the various sporting activities in Uganda, Northern Uganda Bodybuilding Powerlifting Association is advising married men and parents to allow their daughters and wives to join the bodybuilding sports because building slender muscles increases women's functional strength and improves on their mental health. Stephen Okello from Gulu reports more.
In Achule culture, most of the women are not allowed by their spouses to pursue their career dreams and talents, as they are made to stay at home taking care of their children. This has affected many women, including those who are interested to join bodybuilding and powerlifting sports.
Most people look at it like it is it is only for men. Even our women, you feel out of place when people are aware that you're going for gymming. They put a little question mark on you because they have not been given that awareness. Why it is important. It's not just for men, but for both women and men.
According to the Polo Maria Shaka, bodybuilding and powerlifting help in distributing muscles and fats on women's body to maintain their figures.
Body, like you need to have that nice body as a woman, so that when you go out there, you have the body that it's worth putting on anything, just like for the show, on your own fashion show and other activities. And you need to keep our bodies on shape as women.
Jenny Robinsons, who have been doing bodybuilding and powerlifting for the last 33 years, express how it has transformed her life.
I'm in the gym because I want to be a strong female. I want to be a strong woman. I want to be a strong wife, not just physically but mentally as well. Bodybuilding takes a lot of commitment mentally as well as strength. And I want to be that strong woman. I want to be strong for my family. I want to be strong for myself. I want to be strong when my grandchildren come along. And bodybuilding, weightlifting, when I'm in the gym, it takes a lot of stress out of me individually.
She encouraged men to allow their women to go to gym. She also cautioned women to be ready to fight stigma and stay focused on their dream career.
There is a lot of stigma attached to weight training, that you are going to get big, huge muscles, and that you will start wanting to stray from your wifely duties. It's not about that. It's about being a better individual, about being a better woman. And when you feel better about yourself as a woman, you can then give more back to the community, more back to society, more back into your marriage and into your children. And I really believe as local leaders and men, you should be supporting your women to be the best women that they can possibly be, to embrace the opportunities.
According to Riga Anuchaya, bodybuilding and powerlifting is one of the sporting activities that helps in fighting some of the communicable diseases.
It's really so important for them to take part in this activity so that they get included in all that take place in the society, so that they also don't feel they are left out in one way or the other.
Bodybuilding and powerlifting is one of the sports that was developed in the early 19th centuries from England. In Uganda, bodybuilding and powerlifting is largely known by many as a sport for men, and this has affected women who have desire to join these famous sporting activities. Stephen Okello, reporting for West Nile TV in Gulu City.
And to end our Nilecast for the evening, as the financial year 2022-2023 comes to its last quarter of implementation, a section of members of parliament are concerned over the poor health care services in some of the districts. Joseph Jurua reports more.
Members of Parliament are concerned over the inconsistency in service delivery in most government facilities. This comes after many districts have battled the vice of poor health facilities and shortage of drugs and transport services. Buhwaiju District Member of Parliament Francis Muijukwe mentioned the need to give more attention to the health sector, while Christine Diwalana, the Bukoma Nsembi North County Woman Member of Parliament, cited the challenges caused by the stock out of drugs.
Right, Honourable Speaker, this is in regard to lack of essential medicines and health supplies, and of course basic kits for our health centers and facilities. Right, Honourable Speaker, the last time we received these supplies in Buhwaiju District was in October 2022. If you go to our health centers now, you only find ARVs and TBs and vaccines only. And these are from donors. Consequently, Right Honourable Speaker, the health facilities are closing. This has also increased referrals to regional referral hospitals, which creates congestion and a burden of cases that would have been handled in the rural facilities.
In my district, over 70 health facilities are not getting the medical supplies, and it has caused the increasing number of maternal mortalities and morbidities. Even the children in schools are also now at home because they are very sick. The same issue has caused unwanted pregnancies to be on a high increase because the family planning methods are also not supplied. So it has affected the teenagers. We are having increased numbers of teenage pregnancies, and even these married women cannot even space their children for 7 months now.
John Baptist Nambeshe, the Bududa Member of Parliament, also raised concerns over the delayed release of the 30% funds meant for the hard-to-reach areas, which are equally facing the same challenges in healthcare service delivery.
And since the 10th Parliament, there is the famed 30% hard-to-reach fund. But up to now, I suppose the Ministry of Public Service, who has a list and even the criteria that he uses to select the beneficiaries of that 30% hard-to-reach fund, would be here to furnish us with the information of how far he has gone to implement that 30% hard-to-reach fund. And the Bududa is not only hard to reach, it is hard to stay and hard to work. So this 30% delay to give to those people, particularly public servants working in Bududa, is punishing Bududa twice.
There is no any other case we can handle that is tantamount to people's health. And therefore, I would request, right on the speaker, that we get health supplies of essential medicines in our district. I am sure that even other districts, the health centers are in the same situation. We can talk about roads, we can talk about any other services, but health is first.
Margaret Muhanga Mugisha, the Minister of State for Health in charge of primary health care, mentioned that most challenges affecting the health centers is the overwhelming number of patients in most facilities and funding gaps.
The problem we are getting, Right Honorable Speaker, is stockouts in our health facilities because they are overwhelmed by the numbers. The numbers are really too many in our health facilities because a lot of our people cannot afford private. The second issue is funding. We have a lot of funding gaps, and I'm sure if there are members here on the Committee of Health, they can actually bear me witness that we've come before that committee so many times requesting that the budget for NMS be increased, both for purchase of essential drugs and also supplies, consumables. Sometimes we run out because we're overwhelmed, and then sometimes we don't have enough funding. Nonetheless, we are still appealing to you, members of Parliament, that as we try to do this together with our partners, you also support us so that we can have everybody access cheap healthcare.
Joseph Chura, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And with that story, viewer, we've come to the end of the Nilecast on West Nile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast, only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Okumuringa Christine. Have a good evening.